Hey everybody. Boy, that started really fast. I expected a countdown like Facebook Live, but not the same when you're doing a regular video. So, hey, this is Tanya, your Pampered Chef consultant. Well, actually, I'm the one running the show today, but you probably got invited by another consultant who's on our team. We're doing kind of a group effort here. So, make sure if there's any questions that you have, let us know on here. But if you want to order, for sure, we're going to make sure you order from your consultant. And we will make sure that they post the link to you through a private message so we don't get confused with the links and who to order from. So today I'm going to show you what we're going to have for supper, and a link that a recipe I posted or will post for you here at 6 o'clock. And it's called the Philly Cheesesteak Sliders. This was a super popular recipe with my hostesses last season. Really yummy, and of course you can tweak it if there's certain things in here that you don't like. So to get started, all you need is to start with 8 ounces of ground beef. So I already kind of started cooking that just to save us a little bit of time on the video. And then I'll show you a couple of the power tools that we've been talking about on the show so far today. So we're going to start with our deep covered baker. And if you don't already have this, you absolutely should have it in your kitchen. This we use tons for chicken. I'm grounding up hamburger in here today. We're going to do everything right here in this pot today. So this is the full-size deep covered baker. We also have a smaller one that's half this size, but this is one of my favorite products. I'm going to guess that a couple of you on the show already have this, so you can go ahead and give a little shout out in the comments what you love yours for. So some of you might have the cranberry one. They updated the color, so we have this fun gray stone color now, which is really beautiful and matches any kitchen. So we're going to have 8 ounces of hamburger, which, like I said, I started it for you in here. I have it sitting on my stovetop, but this is not stovetop safe, so you're not going to use it on your stovetop. You're going to use it in your microwave, or you're going to use it in your oven. And we're going to just take our mix and chop. So I have the Help It Cancer one that we had last season, but you guys can order the black one. I believe I highlighted it, or will be highlighting it later today. So the hamburger we have in here, I did have the 85% lean, which is what the recipe calls for. So that is what we're using. And then we're going to add just a couple of small ingredients to this. We're going to chop up an onion, and we're going to chop up a pepper. Now I don't have a green pepper, so I'm going to use a yellow pepper today. And that's what I have in the fridge, and I'd rather use it up than go buy another pepper. So a little tip on the onion. If you're not going to use the whole thing, this will apply to a pepper as well with the seeds. But with the onion with the root, you want to leave that root end intact. If you're not going to use the whole onion, it'll stay crisper that way in your fridge, but we're actually going to use the whole thing today. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. Take our skin off, and then we're going to I'm going to highlight for you, well, 2 things. I'm going to show you the knife that I'm using. I have a couple of knives here today. I'm going to throw this away. These are the new knives I used to cut my buns for the sliders. I used the new bread knife. This is beautiful. And then also we're just using a little paring knife today. So they updated the knives last season, and they are really nice. So if you're looking for a good set of knives, these are lifetime warranty and totally worth the investment. You'll never have to replace them. We're going to throw this in our processor. So for those of you that don't have the processor yet, this is a must-have in the kitchen. Great power tool. You can use this for, we talked about this. I saw this earlier today. We were posting. Nicole was saying she used it for egg salad. That's what it was. Onions, I heard Missy say. I know Ashley piped in. There was a couple of things as well. You can do so much in this little tool. So we have the blade. It just sits right down here, the little knob in the bowl. We're going to go ahead and put our onion in there. And then we're going to go ahead and put our peppers in there. And then we're just going to chop those up, and we're going to add those to our hamburger. So like I said with the pepper, same thing like with the onion. If we weren't going to use the whole thing, you want to leave your stem and your seeds intact, and it will stay crisper in the fridge. So don't take those apart unless you absolutely have to. All right, we're going to throw that in here as well. And then all you do, this little handle releases, and then you just... Oh, can you guys see that? Super awesome. All right, now we're just going to pop that in with our hamburger mix here. I'll show you. Look at that. It does so great. Mixes it up really nice. Now you can add, I like to do like a dozen eggs. I'm just grabbing a spatula here. A dozen eggs. You could do ice cream in here, candies, nuts, anything that you need to chop up. Homemade salsa. You guys know, you guys have tons of stuff you're chopping up in your kitchen. It is super easy to clean. These two pieces you can just throw in the dishwasher, and then the top piece there, you just want to hand wash that. Just rinse that with some hot water. Or if you have a sink full of soapy water, just go ahead and take your rag and wipe it off really good. I'm just going to put this now in the microwave for just a minute to get those veggies softened just a little bit, because my hamburger is really already cooked. So we're going to go ahead and just pop that back in the microwave. Perfect. Make sure I don't need this for anything else. And then when that comes out, we're going to transfer it to this bowl. And I'm just going to wipe out the baker because we are going to just use the one cooking utensil and a bowl. And then I am using the King's Hawaiian bread because I love the sweetness to that bread. So they come unsliced, so I just used the bread knife, slice those. Ooh, hopefully you can't see that. Low battery. So anyway, so I sliced those in half. So we have our buns here, and it calls for 8 of them. So there's 4 left in the package. So if you want, if you don't want to have extra bread, just add a little extra hamburger, and then you can use them all up. Otherwise, you can just munch on the bread, on that extra bread. So, and then we're also going to add some cheese, which I have just ready here already. And we have a little bit of seasoning. We're going to use the crushed peppercorn and garlic seasoning today. Really, really good. We have great seasonings. If you're not familiar with our seasonings, they are all gluten-free. So they are in a gluten-free facility. So if that's something you have to pay attention to, we won't be eating the Hawaiian bread. But if you have to pay attention to that with seasonings, that all of our seasonings and our oils, things like that, are gluten-free. All right, so we've got this. What you want to do, just make sure it is chopped up with your, make sure you got your mixing chop in there. Make a little noise. All right, and then we're gonna just take this and I'm just gonna transfer it to our small batter bowl. These are classic. These have been around forever with Pampered Chef. I'm guessing most of you have one. Maybe it looks a little different. They did restyle them a couple of years ago. But still really, really great bowl. So classic kitchen bowl. Great gift. If you have a wedding or anything coming up, it's a really great gift. But you probably do have a wedding coming up, considering we are kind of coming into that type of year. All right. So I just have a clean dish right here. I'm just going to wipe out my mix, my onions and peppers. So I just have a nice clean baker. And then I'm going to take the bottom of my rolls here. And just line the bottom of the baker here. Now I have done this, like what I said, like with more, I just kind of squish them in there a little bit. Make sure you have enough space for them. And then what we're going to add to our hamburger mix here is we're going to add 2 teaspoons of the rub that I just showed you, the crushed peppercorn and garlic. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons. This one's a little more grainy. It's kind of got a little more texture to it. Not all the rubs are like that, but this one has a little bit of texture to it. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce, which I love that flavor. It kind of gives it a little zip. All right. So we're just going to mix that up with our hamburger mix. So it really takes like total, because my hamburger was pre-cooked for the most part. You would do about 7 to 9 minutes, it says. I don't think it's actually that long. I thought it was much faster than that. So maybe a whole pound of hamburger you would do that long. But I would say 4 to 5 minutes is probably all you would really need with that. So I don't think you need as long as they're saying. All right, so we're going to mix this up. Let me make sure here. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to actually put the cheese on the bread first. So we're just going to take it. This is just, you can use provolone cheese, you can use mozzarella cheese. You want to slightly overlap it. This will kind of help the bread not to get too soggy as well. Let's see here. I think just one more piece if I break that in half. There. So I'm just going to layer that over my bread. And then I'm just going to take my hamburger mix here. And actually, let's see, it said, we'll go ahead and use our large scoop. That's what it says to use. So if you don't have these, you are missing out. They are the best scoops. They're super strong. I don't know if the ones just out of the market aren't made as well or what, because I hear tons of people always say that these ones are the best ones. So, all right. I've not owned any other ones besides these, but so we're just going to place our hamburger on there. And I preheated the oven to 350 because you are going to finish these off in the oven. So that's one of the greatest things about this baker is it's microwave safe and oven safe. So we're going to finish it in the oven. Just kind of toast up the bread and get that cheese all melty. Now if it's summer and you really don't want to turn your oven on, go ahead and you can just put it back in the microwave. If you really wanted to do it that way, you could certainly do it that way. All right, perfect, like almost the perfect amount. I'm just draining just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, and let me just make sure they're not adding more cheese because that would be pretty awesome. So cheese, top with remaining cheese. Oh, we are gonna add more cheese. All right, so we're gonna add more cheese on the top. We'll add 3 more slices. So like I said, mozzarella, provolone. If you really, really just like a cheddar, you could do that. You can totally do whatever you want. You don't have to, you can stray from the recipe if you'd like. All right, now we're gonna put our buns, our tops on. So we're gonna just put those right on top. And then, I'm gonna guess a number of you have our garlic press as well. This is the older version, which has the cleaning tool that snaps up here. I'm going to show you because I know some of you think you have a cleaning tool and it's maybe hidden in a drawer somewhere and you didn't know it attached on. It just snaps right onto there. You snap it on. There you go. We're going to take, I just melted just a little bit of butter, about a tablespoon or a little more maybe. I didn't measure. Going to put our garlic in here, whole clove. You don't have to peel it. Just going to put that in. Little cleaning tool, I just use that to scrape it off. And then we've got, there's our skin right there. So the skin doesn't get into your butter or your recipe, whatever you're making. Just throw that baby right into the dishwasher. And then I'm just gonna take our silicone basting brush. Just gonna mix that up a little bit. And then we're gonna put this just on top of our buns. Yum, yum. To get some really good garlic flavor with it as well. So a little butter, a little garlic. There we go. All right. And then you're going to bake it uncovered and you're going to do that for about 10 minutes. And then you're going to get those yummy, delicious sliders. So, and then I posted a picture at 6, I think I posted. I can't remember. Sometime tonight you'll see a picture of the sliders. With that when they're all the way finished, nice and cheesy. So put this in the oven for about 10 minutes and then you're ready to go. So super easy weeknight meal that you can do with your family. If you really need to make a couple more, like you want to use the rest of the 4 buns, just push these all over. You can fit another 4 in there totally with this. So if you're really interested in getting the baker, if you want it for 60% off this month, host a virtual show or a show with your consultant by the end of the month, and you can get this for 60% off. So super good deal on the baker. This is definitely something you'll use. And we have I can email this to your consultant as well, a book that gives you tons of ideas and recipes that our team shares so that you can have, make sure that you're using this and not just letting it sit and look pretty in your kitchen. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a blessed night. Bye-bye.